Hi everybody, and welcome to Rose Sky Tarot. This reading is for Scorpio for the 14th of January 2019, and it's a general reading, so it may not suit everyone, but hopefully there's a message in here just for you. Enjoy! Okay then, let's have a look at these cards that came from the bottom of the deck. And we have the King of Wands, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles. Now, are you a businessman or a businesswoman? You're very career orientated and you're very passionate about the things that you're doing. But there's also a side to you that doesn't suffer fools gladly. You know, you like to be focused on whatever the creative idea is, but if the topic should stray off of that, then you don't seem to be very interested anymore. So you're very business orientated, and it could be that you are the manager. You are the driving force behind whatever this is. But because you're spending so much time in this creative project or business, are you not taking care of yourself? Are you maybe expecting someone else to jump in and do these things for you? Possibly without even being asked. Because are you expecting things from other people that they're giving without being paid for? Are you expecting them to do it out the goodness of their heart? So it could be that even though you are busy, you're not busy enough to, not take care of yourself. So it could be that you're maybe taking advantage of someone else to do the busy work that you don't want to do because you're so fascinated and gung-ho about something that is grabbing your passion creatively. Because you like the business side of life. You like earning money. And, all this creative energy fires your enthusiasm because you want to see whatever the ideas are being brought into reality. And although this is fantastic, the effect of the things that you're doing may not be practical. And you may not consider all of the consequences of your actions because the consequences may not be financial or businessy. Is businessy a word? It could be the consequences are the people that you're taking advantage of and their feelings. So, it's something to think of when you're in the midst of something and you're expecting others to do your will without remuneration or even a thank you. Because it could be that charity and goodwill will run out when you least expect it. Okay, let's get into the deeper reading here. And we have the Six of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, there's a situation that's happening that doesn't appear to be a very good one. It's something that you're worried about. There's been things said that are sticking with you. And it seems to be a situation that you can't seem to get out of. And it's not getting any better. So there's lots of delays in movement with whatever these problems are. And it could be that is your judgment maybe not at its best, because this card is also about delays. Now, the Six of Swords in reverse, the Three of Wands in reverse have some similarities in that, the delay and the dissatisfaction are there. But there's also poor judgment, and discouragement and missing out on opportunities. And the opportunities could be of a personal nature, something of a connection. And it could be that it's just the things that you're passionate about in the business world, but it could also be a love connection. So whatever this is, it's a situation that's getting worse. The communication and connection seem to be going downhill quite quickly. And, there's a resentment about this and delay in anything being resolved. And there just seems to be one bad decision after another, to the point where you have to separate, you have to go your separate ways. Now, let's move on to the next three cards, and we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Hierophant in reverse, and the Sun in reverse. Okay. Now, after this downward spiral, and the separation, have you maybe had to change business offices, change homes? There's a physical change here that, you have to get to the point of making it a pleasing environment to be in. And you do this pretty well because, you use all your resources to the best, and you make it the best that you could possibly do. But then, in moving on to the Hierophant, do you maybe feel that you're feeling a little bit guilty about what's been going on and the move, the destruction of whatever this connection is? It's something that you're not happy about. And, it could be that you also have a negative response from the people round about you as well, because they don't like this situation. They don't like what's happening. And moving on to the sun in reverse, excuse me, sorry. You know, it could be that you are feeling so burnt out after all of these troubles and delays and, discouragement. And then the work that had to be done to your environment, which, was not something that the people round about you were happy about. This move. So you're pretty much feeling burnt out at the moment. It's been one thing after another, and it's been hard going. And, you've had some success in what you've been doing, but again, there's delays. So nothing seems to be ticking along very well. You're going through a really difficult period. Well, let's move down. We have the Four of Swords in reverse, the Two of Swords in reverse, and the Ten of Wands. Now, things have not been going well for you, and you are exhausted, and you've got all these things, all these worries going through your head, and you just can't stop thinking about everything that's happened. And it's as if you're obsessing over every single thing that went wrong. And the delay then, again with delay in taking your next steps, because you can't believe that this has happened. You're lying to yourself, possibly, that all of these bad decisions and situations that just seem to be getting worse and worse have anything to do with you. And regardless of how long you think about it and go round in circles, you're sticking your head in the sand. You don't want to accept the reality of the situation. And you can say that you had so many things that you had to do, and some of them may have felt like a heavy weight on your shoulders, obligations that had to be done. You didn't have a choice, this was your job. But at the same time, you had other responsibilities too. And although the things that you had to do were exhausting, they had an effect in other ways in your life too. And let's move on to the next set of cards, where we have the Tower, the Eight of Wands in reverse, and the Queen of Swords in reverse. Now, sticking your head in the sand is all well and good, but doesn't help really. And it doesn't really solve any of your problems. It just delays the result. And it looks as though the result is the destruction of whatever this life was, because it's no longer available to you. You've had to leave and set up in a different place. And although you've done it really well, it's not something that you can really go back to. You can't seem to go back to these things because it seems to have been destroyed. But with that, it gives you an opportunity to start fresh and to look at the setup that you had that clearly didn't work and get rid of the things that you had put in place that made things so chaotic in the first place. So you can start with a whole different set of rules now that this old system is no longer relevant or available for you. And yes, it is going to cause confusion, and you are going to feel that every day is an uphill battle. And again, with delays of, trying to get things back on track. And, everything that is happening, there just seems to be disappointment in everything. And this could be something that's stemming back to earlier in your life. In fact, could this disappointment be the cause of all of this? The way you react to that disappointment, has this maybe caused this whole thing to happen? Let's bring these other cards back in. Now, we had the King of Wands, the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles. Now, you have a very, I can't see this word, orth. You've got a very demanding presence. And very passionate. But you don't mess around with people. You don't really give people the time of day that don't have the same interests as you, or even people who can't really benefit you, because you don't have time to mess around with an idea that's not suitable for you. And you're not taking care of yourself. You're not taking care of the people or the money that you need. You're so focused in this employment situation that you can't see what's going on round about you, that things are going downhill. So focused on bringing this into reality that you're not seeing the downside of what this is doing to you and your environment. Okay, now that was a lot of negativity coming out of these cards, and it could be that for a lot of people, this reading in entirety is not even close to your reality. So it could be that there may be one or two cards in this reading that are more relevant for you. And, please pick and choose which part of the reading that you feel answers whatever question has brought you to this reading today. And it's just a different way of looking at things. And I am definitely not here to judge or criticise anybody's actions, because you need to walk a mile in someone's shoes before you really understand them. And it could be that all of this has a foundation in something that happened in the past, some self-deception, some form of behaviour or temper that has stemmed from this issue, and it's affected everything else in your life. Now, I hope that this has highlighted something that you have questioned in your life, and you've found a different view or perception from something in this reading, and hopefully it can help you to plan a way out of this situation and get some positiveness back, because you're in the process. Even though life is chaotic and you're going through so many changes and you're just exhausted, that this is something that you can make alterations to. You can plan how you want your future to be, who you want in it. So that is an amazing opportunity. So as much as all of these negative things have been going on, you can still change tomorrow. All right, I wish everybody the best, and I'll see you next week. And thanks for listening to me blethering on. Bye.